Hello everyone, my name is Anil Mistry and today we are going to discuss the CODECHEF assignment problem. So as you can see the topic or you can say the problem statement or problem name is queries in array and which is from assignment number 1. So let us just discuss about the problem statement. So the first line says that Ceph has an array A consisting of positive integers. This array is sorted in a non-decreasing order from left to right. So please do remember this line because this is very important line which is trying to say that the given array isn't sorted in ascending order. You are given NQ queries, each query consisting of three integers L, R and X. Please don't get confused with these variables name like L, R and X and what they are for. They are just here for diverting our attention. You need to focus on the problem definition or problem statement. So the next line says that the answer to this query can be found as follow. Consider the subarray AL plus 1 and so on up to AR. The answer to given query is the count of numbers in this subarray that are greater than or equal to X, which means that in array there are total, you can consider that there are total n numbers and integers, and this is the starting position L, this is the ending position. As you can see that you need to consider the subarray which is written in the problem statement A of L plus 1 and up to A of R, and the count of numbers which is greater than or equal to X in this subarray, that is the answer of this query, each query. So now let us just see that what is the input format and output format for this problem statement. So the first line of each test case contains two space separated integers n and q, and the second line contains n space separated integers denoting the array A. So as you can see the first line contains two integers n and q. Here n is for total number of elements, total number of integers in the array A, and q is the total number of queries. Each of the next q lines contains three space separated integers L, R and X denoting the query. As I have said that q is for total number of queries, and each query will contain L, R and X. And the output, in the output format you need to q lines, one for each query containing the answer for the corresponding query, which means we need to output the q lines and we need to provide the answer to the each query. So now let us just go through the sample input 1 and sample output 1. So as you can see in the sample input 1, first let me just yeah, so as you can see in the sample input 1, the first line is first line contains two space separated integers, and as we have seen in the input format that this is first element is n and the second integer is q. The n is the number of total elements in the array and 6 is the total number of queries. So the next line, second line will be containing the 5 space separated integers which denotes the array A. So here they have given 1, 2, 3, 6 and 9 for the array, and the next 6 lines which are for the queries, the total queries. So you can see this is first line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line and sixth line. So the first line will be containing the first query and so on. So the first line you cannot see over here, which is trying to say this is basically L, R and X. L is 1, R is 5 and X is 1. So this first query is trying to say that go through first position in the array up to last and tell me what are the total number of elements that are greater than or equal to 1. So this is basically pronunciation of query, or this is basically query. Then we need to give the answer of this query. So let us go through the array. So the first element is 1, which is greater than or equal to 1. So as you might be remembering the problem statement, the second statement that I have said, that please to remember, which is trying to say that the array will be given in the non-decreasing order from left to right, which means the array is sorted in ascending order. And as you have gone through first position in the array, which is 1, and which is greater than or equal to 1, so now we can consider then from now onwards in the array all the elements will be greater than or equal to 1, because of that one line that I have told you to remember. So we can directly now output the answer that there are total 5 elements in the array that are greater than or equal to 1. So as you can see in the sample output. So let us go through the next query, which is trying to say that go from first position to last position and tell me which are how many elements are there which are greater than or equal to 3. So the first position is 1, which is not greater than or equal to 1. Second position is 2. Second position is 2, which is not greater than or equal to 3. And third position is 3, which is greater than or equal to 3. So you can consider that from now onwards all the elements will be greater than or equal to 3. So you can directly output the answer that there are 3 elements which are greater than or equal to 3. So as you can see the sample in the sample output, and now we can go for the third query, which is trying to say that from the first position go up to last position and tell me how many elements are there which are greater than or equal to 10. So the first index is 1, second is 2. First index is not greater than or equal to 10, second is also not greater than or equal to 10. The next third position is 10, which is also not greater than or equal to third position is 3, which is also not greater than or equal to 10. Fourth position is 6, which is also not greater than or equal to 10. And the fifth position is 9, which is also not greater than or equal to 10. So we can output the answer that there are 0 elements which are greater than equal to 10. So we can go for the fourth query, which is trying to say that from the first position go to fourth position and tell me how many elements are there which are greater than or equal to 4. So the first position is 1, which is not greater than or equal to 4. Second position is 2, which is also not greater than or equal to 4. Third position is 3, which is also not greater than or equal to 4. And the last, fourth position, which is 6, which is greater than or equal to 4. So we can output the answer that there is only one element which is greater than or equal to 4. So now we can go for fifth. Now we can go for fifth query, which is trying to say that tell from the second position go to last and tell me how many elements are there which is greater than or equal to 4. So the second position is 2, which is not greater than or equal to 4. Third position is 3, which is also not greater than or equal to 4. And the last position and the fourth position is 6, which is greater than or equal to 4. So now we can consider that all the elements from now onwards will be greater than or equal to 4. So now we can output the answer that there exist 2 elements which is greater than or equal to 4. So you can see in the sample output. So now we can go for last query, which is trying to say that from the second position go to last position and tell me how many elements are there which are greater than or equal to 1. So in the array second position is 2, which is greater than or equal to 1. So we can assume that from now onwards in the array all the elements will be greater than or equal to 1. So you can output the question that there exist 4 elements which is greater than or equal to 1. So as you can see in the sample output. So this is basically the overall logic which we are going to implement in the program. So the explanation says the constraint, that what are the constraint, the n and q both are both belongs to 1 to 105. This is a constraint for all the elements in the array. This is the constraint for L, R, and N, and this is the constraint for X. And I have explained the logic in the sample input and output. So let us just go through the code. So now let us just implement the program. Let us just implement the logic into the program. So I am implementing in Java. So for taking the input, I am taking the scanner class. So if you want the fast input, so you can also go with the buffer reader, which reads fast than the scanner class. So as you can see, as I have used the scanner class, open the scanner, so we need to go over here and close the scanner. So this is I am this I have opened the scanner and I am closing. So for the better understanding, we need to, it is a good practice to add the comment. So I am adding the comments that for taking the input from console and closing the scanner. So all the logic uh, I need to write in between these two lines. So as you can see that the sample input and sample output, we need to first take the two elements n and q. So let us just take two elements, integer n is equals to scan dot next integer. It is fine to take integer, it will not break the constraint given in this problem statement. So integer n, which is the total number of elements in the array. Next integer is q, which is the total number of queries. So for better understanding, it is I am writing the comments that total elements in the array, and this variable is here for total number of queries. So now I am making the array is equal to new integer, and the size of the array will be n, which we are taking over here. So for the array elements, the second you can see in the second line will be containing the n space separated integer for the array. So I am making the for loop for taking the array. So for integer I is equal to 0, I is less than n, and I plus plus. You can also take I is less than array dot length over here, because we are making the array with the initial size n over here. Okay, so array of I is equal to scan dot next integer. So this much code will be what will be able to take the n and q and array, all the array elements. So now we need to take the queries one by one. The total number of queries are given in the queue, and in each query we need to take L, R, and X and do the computation and print the output. So we can make the while loop over here. that while q is greater than 0, do q minus equals to 1, or you can also take q minus minus. So while there is a query remaining, you can also write down the comment that while the total queries are remaining. So what we need to do, we need to take integer l is equals to, so for the better understanding, we are taking the variable name as start is equals to scan dot next integer and is equals to scan dot next integer. The taking integer will not break the constraint, so I am taking all the integers in this problem, and the integer mean element which will be x from the query scan dot next integer. So we have taken the L, R and X from the console. Now we need to do the computation, and in the computation what we need to print, as I have explained in the sample input and sample output, that we need to go for first position up to the last position, up to the fifth position. You can see I am taking the last position. I am telling the last position because the total elements are 5, and we need to print that how many elements are there which are greater than or equal to 1. So I am taking the for loop over here, that for integer I is equals to start minus 1 minus 1. I am taking I is equal to start minus 1 because the total elements, because the initial elements, initials index in the array will start from 0, and I is less than end and I plus plus, because we need to go up to a given position in the uh, R, which we have named the variable as end. And we need to check if array of I is greater than mean element. If the condition is satisfied, then what we need to do, we need to check that how many elements are there. So for checking that how many elements are there, I am taking the variable integer, the answer, let us say, is equal to 0. I am initializing this variable as 0, and over here, if this condition is reached, that array of I is greater than mean element, then what we need to compute, we need to compute how many elements are there which is greater than or equal to mean element. So it will be and minus I, which means the position of current element array of I which is greater than mean element, actually greater than equal to mean element, and we need to subtract that position from the end, and that will be answer. And from now we don't need to check further elements, so I am attaching the break over here, and at last we need to print the answer of the query. So I am taking system.out.println, and what we need to print, we need to print the answer. So let us check the first query. So first of all, I am just entering my own constraint that there are 5 elements, there is one query, and let us take the same array 1 2 3 6 and 9, and first query or the only query which is I want to get the answer 1 2 5 and 1, which means from the first position to fifth position, tell me how many elements are greater than or equal to 1. So the expected answer over here is 5. Let us check. Okay, so answer is correct. So now let us check the our sample input. So 5 1 1 2 3 6 and 9, the the elements in the array. The first query is 151 and the expected answer is 5, which is correct. Next query is 1, 5 and 3 and the expected output is 3. So 1, 1, okay, sorry, 5, 5, 6 and 1, 2, 3, 6 and 9 and 1, 5 and 1. So answer is correct. The next query is 1, 5, 3. So answer is 3, which is correct. 1, 5, 10. The answer is 0, which is also correct. 1, 4, 4. The answer is 1, which is also correct. 2, 5, 4. The answer is 2, which is also correct. 2, 5 and 1 and the answer is 4, which is also correct. So this is the the logic implementation in the program.